right, good afternoon. Welcome to Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast, episode number 1. This is Adam here, the commish with the dish. We're here with Forbes, aka Kissin' Cousins. How you feeling today, man?
I'm good. I'm excited. I've been waiting for months to talk about football, and this is just an excuse to talk about it a little bit more. So I'm ready to do it.
Getting together, talk about football some more. It is the season, right? Absolutely. I'm excited for this. This is something that we've been talking about for a while.
Yeah.
To get going off the ground, and finally, let's pull the plug here. Let's get it going.
You got to do it eventually. You can only talk about it so long, and I think the other guys might like it. Who knows? I mean, basically, it is mostly for our league.
Right. Yes. This is going to be definitely based around our league. We are not professionals by any means.
No, they're not listening to this to try to win a fantasy league. You're listening to us. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of stuff wrong.
Yeah. Oh, we
Player
probably
names,
will.
the
Hopefully
teams
not
they
this
play
year.
for.
But
Yeah.
Well, let's get started. We want to talk about some news?
News. Big news. Today, by the way, it is Saturday the 13th, August. So we just had a pretty hot video drop yesterday. That would be the Marshawn Lynch DUI video. It's a 29-minute video. I don't know which one you watch. If you watch the one I sent you, the full.
Yes, I watched that.
Because
I sped through it quite a bit because there is some lag time for it. But yeah.
Because I saw Johnny put the shorter clip on there of just like the good stuff, like the meaty parts. But you watched the full video and it's like, bro, what happened to your tire?
Yeah. What happened that night? Where was I at that party? Right.
And I mean, I guess it's not surprising nobody recognized him because I don't know if I would have recognized him at that point. But yeah, he was looking rough.
How did we not catch that guy in Bunny's bathroom?
I mean, it's pretty funny when she was asking about his grill. Is that a completely gold grill? How could you afford that? Like, oh, lady.
Yeah.
Lady. I mean, and so I know he said he stole the car in the video. Did he steal? I mean, is that true? Or
did he hotwire the car? Did someone give him the keys and he's like, fuck it, yoink? You know?
I mean, the man didn't, he said he didn't know his name at first. Like, he didn't know his name. He said he stole the car. So I don't know if that's something he was just saying because he didn't know what the hell he was saying. But that was tough. That was a tough watch.
Yeah, he was definitely asleep. He was taking one of the greatest naps. It looked comfortable.
I don't know if you saw, though, in the video, there was a point where he started to come to, right? He's kind of talking a little bit more, and he's facing, he's kind of leaning towards the driver's door, right, talking to the officer, whatever. But, the other officer is on the passenger side, doing what they do.
Yeah.
And then he noticed, he caught like, I see them moving behind me. Like, he still got the eyes. Like, he still got that protection vision. You know what I mean? Even
child's play.
In a half stupor, with a cop in front of you, he still senses, people creeping up on his blind side. So, props to him, man. He's been out of the game for a while, but,
forever one of the greats, for sure. Yeah,
take the dog out of the game, right? But you can't take I don't know. He couldn't take that corner. I don't know what the hell he hit with that tire, man. It was destroyed.
Oh, my God. It was gone. I know the officer, she was talking about, look at the chunk taken out of the concrete here,
Just the mess that it left, in its wake behind the car.
It looked like he was, parked, outside of some, just, metal scrapyard, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And it's like, and you got to think, bro, you got the money, man. Just call a cab, Uber.
Yeah.
You can't hire a driver?
You could probably own Uber at this point.
Yeah, it's sad. But, it's what happens, I guess. That's what happens to these guys. Up next, Alvin Kamara suspension. Might not happen until 2023.
I bet you're looking forward to that.
I'm excited about it. I don't like the wording, though.
Why is that?
2023. Is that 2023 season or January 1st?
Well, January is not. There's not going to be any football anyway, but... if he's suspended games, it's totally the season.
I guess that's true. For our season, yeah. For sure.
Because, it's like they're off. They get... When football's on break, they're off the chain, The punishments don't happen over the summer break.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
They got to be punished during the season.
I'm excited. I've been nervous. My number one running back, who isn't even really a top 5 running back anymore, for how the league is these days.
But could be.
It could be. Absolutely could be. Yeah, that's a big relief. That's a big load off my my shoulders. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy.
And I feel like with the Saints in general, they could. He could pull off a top five over there. They got some, Michael Thomas is back, Chris Olave. Like, they have the wide receiver weapons now that they didn't have the past, 2 years.
I'll talk about the Saints a little bit more later.
Yeah, I bet we will.
I am looking forward to watching the Saints play this year. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's see who else is on the suspension beat. That'd be Deshaun Watson. Now, last I saw, he's trying to call his own punishment. He's like haggling.
I saw that too. 8 games, $5 million fine. Like, bro,
is that how that
is that
works?
an admission of guilt?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
because he's now also like, I didn't mean to, cause harm to all these women. Just wanted my peen touched.
Yeah, there's better ways to go about it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. If that's an admission of guilt, if you're trying to haggle your punishment down,
right? And that was my first thought when I read it. I'm like, well, now he's guilty because he's absolutely given himself his own punishment. That's
because that's like the same as making a deal with the state. You got to plead guilty to make any kind of deal with the state.
Exactly.
Rough.
Yeah.
So what do you think that? So let's say he does get suspended. Mm-hmm. And are they going to bring in a Jimmy Garoppolo, or are they going to try to, fill that role? I mean, what is that? How worried should Beetle be?
I like Jacoby Brissett over there. Beetle, he didn't even have Deshaun Watson last year.
He has him this year?
He does, but he had him last year. But Deshaun Watson didn't play last year.
Yeah, for sure.
He was benched the whole season.
Yeah.
So, and Beetle still made the playoffs. So Beetle still has a team.
That's true.
I don't think he has to worry 100% about losing Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's real excited to potentially have him this season.
Right, and he's got. Right now he is in his starting lineup. As of right now, he is his starting quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now he also has Trevor Lawrence, who had a pretty okay preseason. He threw a couple, nice passes, and their Jags. Oh hell, I forgot who they played. Even I just watched it today. The Jags-Browns game. He threw some stuff. So he does have that up. He's got a Derek Carr. He's got a Matt Ryan for some reason. But that's it.
I love Matt Ryan, and I'll touch on that later.
Okay. I'll talk about it later. But he does. But his only other options then, if you lose Deshaun Watson, you've got Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr, and Matt Ryan. Still not worried about him?
Oh, I'm gonna worried when I face him. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's a whole different thing. I'm real scared about my
Fair
team
enough.
this year. I hope it's not like next year I win 4 and then, take the slide down.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough.
Well, we all go through those. Some of us just start going down and don't ever stop. So.
Well, hopefully it's a bounce back year.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people go with no wins for a season, they win a championship.
It can be done. It has been done. And then James White, he's done. Chris Alex refuses to drop him.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know, man.
Probably because he'll get picked up at the Bucs. Tom Brady's gonna call his ass out and be like, "Don't go boxing. Don't go to boxing.
Yeah.
Come play over here."
That's hilarious.
Because he's probably older than Giovanni Bernard, but they're both really good pass catching
James
backs.
White's been in the league for 8 years, all with the Pats.
Okay,
which
Bernard's
is
been for 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bummer for Chris. Good for James White though. He's got 3 Super Bowls. You can't be mad at that.
And I think
spent a whole league with the same team. Can't be mad
Chris
at that.
Alex also. Let me check here. He also has. You have Ramondre Stevenson, right?
I do have Ramondre. Damon Harris, I believe,
is who Chris Alex has.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good for him.
Yeah.
Also good for Ramondre. That's real good. Some sneaky stuff going on in the background.
Yeah. Goodbye James White. Fantastic career. 381 receptions for 3,278 yards and 25 touchdowns. Also add on 319 carries for 1,278 yards. So a solid receiver as well as being that really solid running back.
Yeah, and he won the Patriots Super Bowls.
Yeah. He's got 3 rings and he deserves every single one of them.
He was a part of those teams,
Yeah.
and he was a little injury prone here and there, but yeah, when he played, the dude balled out.
And considering, the past track records on the running backs, those are decent stats for, basically a committee running back.
Yeah, the Belichick way.
Yeah, he loves rotating him in and out. So, yeah, solid career.
Maybe you think he might become a running backs coach? Because I kind of feel like that might have been his role the past couple of years.
Do you think so?
Yeah, like it wasn't necessarily a coach, but he was mentoring these younger running backs to the Patriots way, to the Belichick way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he was diligent. He was a star of the team, and I would imagine a leader.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
I'd see that.
So maybe somewhere he gets picked up as a coach.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be in sports broadcasting. So
not everyone can do it well. Yeah, and just considering, he obviously has really good ties with that franchise. I mean, he spent his whole career there, which I feel like Patriots, they kind of move and shuffle if something's not working out.
Right.
So I think to spend, 8 years in New England says something about who they are and what they think of you. And I was reading something about what Belichick was saying about him, and Belichick just obviously had just nothing but amazing things to say about the guy. So, but I will say this. I've had him on a team before, and it's, he's one of those guys, like, is he going to do something? Is it going to be him this game?
Right.
Or is it going to be somebody else? You know what I mean? And
fantasy purposes, you don't trust New England running backs all that
Right.
much. That's
Right.
that's the trend over there. But, flex play, bye weeks, I would plug him in. And it's all about game script. I mean, we watched last year, probably my favorite game of last year. We watched the Patriots beat the Bills and pass only 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's always good when they beat the Bills.
Sorry, Chris Alex. But that was my favorite game of the season. Not because the Bills lost or the Patriots won. Just, I mean, how often do we get to see old school football anymore?
Just a nice run. Just
they won the game by just throwing it 3 times.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy stat. 3 times throwing the ball. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, James White, you will be missed. That's all I really got for news, except for a couple of preseason game injuries.
There was that. Those can be scary.
You want to talk about
always
them?
Nervous. Yeah, well, let's go right into that. What we call our scarers and terrors.
And how does that work, sir?
So the scarers, I like to call it the ones I'm scared. They can affect your. They won't be their end all be all like losses, but it's something that damn. This is why I hate watching preseason.
Worrying about for a couple weeks, it might affect you for a few weeks.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for instance, let's bring up just from last night, Zach Wilson. It's told now that it is a bone bruise and was it torn meniscus?
A little scary.
Was that what I read right? Yeah.
I heard the bone bruise. I did hear that. I didn't hear the meniscus.
Let's see here.
But that's a little scary. Nothing. The word break wasn't involved.
Right.
And the ACL looked fine, is what I read. So that is good news.
Yeah, a meniscus tear. So maybe not completely torn, but it's a meniscus tear. That's scary. For a couple of reasons. He's a young quarterback that could, with a brand new awesome team. I mean, I wouldn't say awesome, but the potential to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the Jets after all.
Right.
But I mean, this could be scary. This could be something that could linger.
Yeah.
He's only out 2 to 4 weeks, so he'll be back for the season.
Week 1 should be good.
Should be good, but I mean, he's gonna be. I would be timid of contact. I would be like, ooh, I gotta watch out for this.
Yeah.
Which could be the scare because that could mentally change his game a little bit.
Absolutely. It plays a lot into it, the mental. Dan's got him. I don't think he's really worried. He's got backups. He's got Teddy Bridgewater. He's got Tua Tagovailoa, and he's got Dan Prescott.
That was a trade from last year. I gave him Tua.
Tua, you did give him Tua. Who'd you get?
I got who did I get? Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams for Tua.
He was stuck on bye week, and he was in need.
That's right.
So I threw him a draft pick and Tua.
That's right.
For Javonte.
If I remember correctly, Dan was trying to get me to help him out. Same situation. Bye week woes. Pretty sure he was trying to make it work out before. He was basically trying to collude somehow. And I just basically told him.
It's like, dude.
No.
That was good. I mean, Tua could have a great year.
Yeah,
he's got the weapons this year.
He's got Jason Waddle. Yeah, he's
Tyreek Hill. Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel.
Yeah. Sorry, Michelle coming over from the Rams, I believe.
Yeah, he had a great end of the year last year for the
Rams.
He
did. His last few games, yes. Yeah. Yes, he did.
But I think he's buried on the depth chart, though, behind. I think he's third.
Oh, behind Edmonds
and Mostert.
Well, it's a good thing I grabbed Edmonds then.
Yeah, that was a trade we did this year. Hey, all right. But yeah, no. So that could be scary. Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Another scare. Drake London also getting hurt yesterday. That's scary.
Yeah.
It's nothing big, but as I said before, that could really affect your mentality. He's playing with the big boys. He's also a rookie, so he's not necessarily a starter. He could be on someone's fantasy team, but our teams are deep. We have big rosters.
Yeah.
So
especially wide receiver position. I mean,
yeah,
it's deep.
So, but he's absolutely their number 2 receiver behind their tight end.
I believe Mile High's got him. Yeah, he does. But yeah, just like you said, being a rookie, your first real game with the big boys, that's a shock. I mean, it's not like nobody else does it. Everybody else has that exact same moment, their first game in the league, and some handle it better than others. Just because he got hurt doesn't really speak to him as a player, but it is probably going to speak to his mentality going forward, especially week 1 when it's 100% full. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everyone's not at 100% tackling and 100% running. You're doing, 80%, 70%, whatever you want to do. But you're not going out there to, break your own ankles.
It's still, let's not get injured, but have close to real games as possible.
Right. So, yeah, I think that's probably definitely going to be in the back of his head going into week 1 full on.
All right. Yeah. So then on to my terrors.
Mm-hmm.
These are the ones that could be scary, could wreck a team.
A season.
Kareem Hunt, number 1 on my list.
That's your terror.
That's scary, man.
You're terrified. I'm
terrified of that.
Okay, you're terrified.
Scared?
I own him.
I
don't own him. He's on my team.
Right.
And I'm only a little scared. I'm scared. You're terrified.
I'm terrified. There's so much drama going on over there at Cleveland.
Okay.
This is one thing on the pile.
Mm-hmm. Jerome Ford's performance in the preseason have anything to do with that too? He looked good. He got stuffed in the backfield a lot of times, but he had some decent runs. He had a decent score.
I'm just scared about the situation, man. He's not happy there.
Mm-hmm.
He's publicly shown that.
Mm-hmm.
He's sat out. He's back now practicing. You know? But it's like, dang, man. And how do you move him? Is he on a contract here? Is this his last one?
This is his last year.
His last year there. Yeah. So I mean, what's
again?
coming next?
I could be wrong about some of this stuff. I'm sure Chris Alex will fact check this. Mike Melvin will fact check this. Raul will probably fact check this. It's fine.
Hey, that's our league. I love it. People are involved. That's why we love fantasy football, right? So he didn't suit up. He didn't play. I can't see now if it's.
Well, my thing is, the way I look at it is he's a fantastic running back, first and foremost.
He could be. He's the best, one of the best 1Bs in the league.
He can put up first running back numbers while still being a second running back behind Nick Chubb. He's able to produce, at least in fantasy, he's able to produce numbers in fantasy. That being said, I think he's definitely going to go somewhere. And the reason why it's a little scary is if he's not going to play to his full potential this year. And I only say that because if I was in his position, knowing that I could be a star running back, because I am a star running back, I could potentially take a team to the playoffs not by myself, but not, RB2ing behind another elite starter. I would be a little cautious of my body that last year on a team where I'm not probably going to be there next year. I would want to save my body to, out of the gate, do something with a team that desperately needs me. So that's the only thing that makes me a little scared. If he plays, he's going to put up numbers.
Absolutely. But the other thing that terrorized me about that is no one really showed any interest.
Okay.
He asked for a trade. And they shut it down, so maybe they didn't take offers, but
sure.
We also didn't hear or see any reports being like, that's our guy.
Because we both agree.
Let's go and get that guy.
Yeah, because we both agree that there are teams that should be saying that right now.
Yes.
It absolutely should be saying.
Yes, absolutely.
We need a guy. We need that guy. Mm-hmm. The Ravens come to mind. Ravens always, when I think who needs a running back,
The Ravens.
I automatically go to the Ravens.
Let's go to Baltimore and get hurt somehow. Yes, Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Eagles. I think they could use a better pass catching back.
Oh, they got that Huntley guy?
They have Kenneth Gainwell. They have as their pass catching back.
Oh, okay.
Miles Sanders is their one.
Yeah, Little Sanders.
Boston Scott's is the other power runner, but Kenneth Gainwell is their wide receiver. And I saw a picture just the other day that the head coaches are all about Kenneth Gainwell. They were wearing his T-shirt.
Oh, that's good.
At one of the interviews, at one of the talk-throughs. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They're just so so he's liked.
A little nepotism.
Yes, absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Maybe get the other RBs up to a little fire in their butts. Terror could be Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I put a terror in here. It's not necessarily affecting anybody's football team, but I was so sad to see Jakeem Grant out for the season.
Jakeem Grant. Refresh me.
He is a specialist, punt return, kick return specialist, wide receiver. He spent a lot of time on the Dolphins.
Okay.
This year he is at not the Bears. Where was he at? He's also at Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's great. I love this guy. He could be the next Cordell Patterson.
Oh.
I was all up for
Okay.
Cordell Patterson. I drafted him his first few years when he was with Minnesota.
You do like a versatile guy. You
do.
like a guy that's going to be on your punt and kick returns.
Well, there are extra points in our league.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It evens the playing field.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's this third string wide receiver that's also doing kick and punt returns. He can outscore a number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Probably not. But does it even the field to people who looking at Johnny's team, who has Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? Bro, how did we let that happen?
Disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting.
As drafters as a whole, guys, how did we
he
let
has Jamar Chase.
that
He shouldn't be allowed
happen?
to play any other wide receiver besides Jamar Chase. That and Cooper Kupp. That's another thing. Whoever has I think it's Melvin who has Cooper Kupp, I want to say.
Yeah, I think
he shouldn't be allowed to play any other wide receiver if you're starting Cooper Kupp. The man had more fantasy points last year than any other receiver in history. Granted, that's with an extra game.
Right.
But still.
But he outscored the next one by over 90 points.
It's disgusting.
By over 90 points. The number 2 wide receiver of the entire.
Yeah, it is
gross. Man.
And they won the ball that year, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So mine, I had the opposite. What's scary for me is the Hunt and Watson thing. Those are both a little scary. The Hunt thing I kind of told you about. I do feel like he's going to play this year. He might hold back a little bit, but he's still going to put up points. And there's always an option that Nick Chubb gets hurt. I would hate for it to happen. I never wish it on anybody, but that is an option. That is something that could happen.
Absolutely. Especially the power runner that Chubb is. And
yes.
They are a running team first.
Yes. Also, I feel like he's going to get a lot of opportunities because I like the Browns' defense a lot this year. From a little bit I've seen, their defense looks really, really solid. So I think that's going to help keep the ground game more prominent, and especially with your quarterback issues, who knows what's going on. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot more than maybe normal, than maybe last year. So that's why it's not super scary with me. Same thing with Deshaun Watson. I don't really know what's going on with him. But it seems like he's haggling his own punishment. So maybe he'll only be out for 4 weeks.
Admission of guilt, man. That's terrorizing.
Maybe if the fine goes up, the weeks will go down, and he'll only be out for 2 weeks for, a couple $100,000.
No. Goodell's, he's going for the year. He's quoted. He's after him. He's after him.
My only thing that terrifies me is I am terrified for the Seattle receiver core.
Oh man,
DJ Metcalf and Tyler
point.
Lockett, they've got a bad beat. And DJ Metcalf, I believe, just signed a 4-year contract.
Yes, DJ Metcalf just got his extension.
For who? For what quarterback? You know what I mean? He's a fantastic receiver.
Drew Lock.
I guess think he's gonna get Geno Smith or Drew Lock. That's where we're at these days.
They're both okay.
That's the issue because they're both okay. DJ Metcalf is not okay. Tyler Lockett is not okay. They're elite receivers. They're both elite, and they need a quarterback that'll get them somewhere. I'm very, very I don't think they're going to have a good year. I don't think DK Metcalf and Locker can put up the numbers that they can put up.
Who do you think is going to do better?
Between the two?
Yeah.
I'd say DK Metcalf.
Yeah?
I would just go with that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
For any reason, no, not really. I like the way he plays a little bit better. That's all.
Big body receiver.
And plus, he just signed that contract. I feel like he's in it now. You know what I mean?
He's proved he's got to commit.
It's kind of one of those things. I'm going to prove I'm worth the money.
Yeah.
Now, whether they do that or not, I don't know. But I feel like you should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to prove to the fans and the city that you're worth the money they're putting out for you. So
makes sense. I would go with Lockett.
Oh, okay.
I would go with Lockett because he was the highest. What's the best way to put this? He caught 100% of his passes. He had no drops last year.
Oh,
he was rated number one of all the wide receivers for catches.
He had no drops this year. I don't think that stat will be the same this year.
Probably not.
No drops last year with Russell Wilson.
But dude's got hands.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a sure. Throw him the ball, he'll catch it.
Okay.
That sort of thing. and I think that's a great way to build rapport with a quarterback.
Yeah.
Is be like, I'm not going to drop shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw me the damn ball.
I like it. Yeah, you're putting confidence in your quarterback. It's a two-way street. You get your quarterback to have confidence you're going to catch it. Just as much as you got to be confident your quarterback's going to put it somewhere where you can catch it. So
right, and I think Noah Fant going there too at tight end will eat up some targets.
Yeah, coming over from Denver.
Yeah, that was a big trade.
Yeah.
Huge trade this year.
That's crazy.
That was.
So was it just a 1-to-1 Fant for Wilson?
What do you mean? No, they got Drew Lock. They got
Drew Lock
draft picks. Noah
Fant.
Fant.
Right.
Yeah, Noah Fant.
That's right.
Fant.
That's right.
Font. I don't know. Whatever.
That's right. I forgot Drew Lock was there.
Yeah, they sent him a bunch of stuff. They weren't just giving up. They kind of given up on Russell Wilson, but they weren't giving him up. You know what I mean?
No. Right.
He's a generational quarterback. And also, a fun fact about him, he
threw the worst interception.
He was a third round quarterback. One of the very
Oh.
few elite quarterbacks ever taken in the past decade.
Yeah.
That was in the third round.
Yeah. He's there. He's got talent.
Yeah.
He's just, like I said, he threw the worst interception you could ever throw in a football game.
It's also a pretty bad call.
A 1-yard interception to lose the goddamn Super Bowl.
Man,
I mean, what are you going to do?
give
I blame Carroll as much as more.
Oh yeah,
More.
Absolutely.
It's all on his shoulders. You're an idiot.
Absolutely. You have Marshawn Lynch.
Because your OC didn't call that play.
Dude can apparently sleep behind the wheel, drive a car without a tire. Give the man the ball. Just give they'll never live that one down.
All right. So that's all I got for my scarers and terrors.
All right. Well, then, do you want to go into? I'll kick it to you and go over some trending, non-trending.
Players.
Yeah.
So what we've kind of thought about doing is just on our sleeper app, do the top trending up, top trending down, and obviously these are going to change from day to day. I kind of looked at it yesterday. Wrote some notes down what I thought, and then of course there's a bunch of fantasy football or preseason football games, so it's changed.
Right.
Top 5 right now. We've got Joe Flacco and Mike White. And that's only for one reason only. That's because of Zach Wilson.
The Zach Wilson injury. Yeah.
Would you be picking up either one of those quarterbacks?
I would get Joe Flacco. He's tried and true, man. He's proven the Flacco flinger. Like, they actually have a name for his throws.
Yep.
That's proven.
Flutie had his flakes. Flacco has his flinger.
That's right. I would pick him up. I don't have room on my team to do that by any means. But also, is it worth? It's worth a stash for someone who has the room, or has someone they want to drop. Because why not? I mean, Zach Wilson's only out 2 to 4 weeks, but like we said, that could linger.
Yeah. Like you said, Joe Flacco is a tried and true quarterback. It's one of those guys that if Zach Wilson starts having some issues during the season, who knows? He could be the guy that steps up. So
and they finally have receivers to catch the deep balls. Like, they're on paper, they have a good team over there.
On paper. Mike White, he's been in the league for 5 years now. Never even heard his name. So number 3, we got Amir Abdullah. Out of Las Vegas. they just added Brandon Bolden. I've read reports that, it might be between him and Drake, Kenyon Drake. Looking on our team depth charts just on Sleeper, and I don't even have Drake on their running back depth charts. They've got Josh Jacobs, Brandon Bolden, and Zamir White. So
really, they don't even have Drake on the depth chart?
Yeah, they only list, granted, on Sleeper, they only list the top 3, but yeah, Kenyon Drake is not on the top 3.
Interesting.
Right. So, he had...
is that worth a switch? Trade him out? Someone who has Kenyon Drake?
Well, that's the question, right? I believe I think Dan has Josh Jacobs, I believe.
Which is good. I do not get the whole I hate Josh Jacobs year.
No.
What's going on with it? I don't get it.
Was that this year or last year?
That's this year. People are dogging.
Who hates?
I don't know. It's just general consensus. Like Josh Jacobs, he didn't get renewed for his 5th-year option.
Okay.
He's on the move. So he's gonna play like he needs to because someone's gonna pick him up.
I've had him on my team before, and he's never really let me down.
Yeah, no, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, and when I had
running back.
Yeah, when I had him, I think it was a whole him and Kenyon Drake, right? It was him it was the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it was usually Josh Jacobs. I know Raul was a little thirsty for Jacobs at one point, and if Raul is thirsty for him, I have to assume they're somewhat of a decent player, because I don't think Raul just goes for trades willy-nilly. So yeah. But that being said, Dan also has Kenyon Drake. So Dan has the Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake. If you're Dan, are you thinking about Amir Abdullah versus Kenyon Drake?
That's a tough one. I mean, I read that they want him as, the James White role.
Drake?
They want Abdullah as the James White role.
Ah.
So pass catching specialist.
Uh-huh.
And we just talked about James White earlier. He's a flex play at most, if that, on a bye week.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you're having a bad week if he's your RB1.
Yes.
You're hoping and praying that he breaks off for some 40, 50s. You're hoping for something special. Yeah. Otherwise, you're banking on a 9, 10 points.
Yeah. That being said, if someone ahead of him gets injured, I'll scoop him up. Absolutely.
Amir, yeah.
Because he's going to be the change of pace pass catching back. I don't think he'll ever be the number 1 over there.
No. Well, no. I mean,
Josh Jacobs, if he gets hurt.
Oh yeah, if Josh Jacobs gets hurt, Amir Abdullah's gone. He's off the waiver wire. He's on somebody's team.
Yes.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is this is his 8th year in the league for Amir Abdullah.
Dang, that long?
Exactly. And I didn't realize that either.
And I think they still have the picture.
He's
of
29
from the Vikings too.
Yeah, he's in his Vikings uniform. 29. He's been in the league 8 years. He's probably only got a couple left, and this is a dynasty league.
Yeah. When you put it that way, damn, pick him up.
And Drake, I think, has been in for 5, I want to say. No, Jesus Christ. Kenyon Drake, this is his 7th year in. So you're trading out Kenyon Drake for Amir Abdullah for you get 1 extra year.
I'd still hold Kenyon Drake at that point.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake has been moving around, but he has been a number 1 before.
Yeah.
So he has that talent.
Yeah.
Not saying that Amir Abdullah isn't talented, but
it's just
as a pass catching back at Las Vegas, I see Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow soaking up all those targets. They don't need a pass catching back when you have Hunter Renfrow in the slot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I like Darren Waller a lot too. As far as the tight end, yeah.
I'm fading him though. I don't think he's gonna have the year he's had.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll be more of maybe it depends because now they'll be doubling up on Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
And
a lot of mouths to feed over there now.
What's that?
A lot of mouths to feed over there now.
Yeah, right. This is Adams' first year in Vegas?
Yes. Got traded over the offseason, yeah. So which will be fun because I think him and their QB, weren't they in college together? Derek Carr and Devontae Adams?
I don't know.
I think they're old college teammates.
Nice.
So
if it's true, awesome.
Yeah,
well, it's true now. I think so. We said
it. Fuck. No. Yeah, all right. Do you want to do one more trending up? Do you want to do 5?
Well, yeah. And I kind of mentioned him earlier. Jerome Ford is trending up, of course, because we had a preseason game. He had a couple good breakoffs, but then I saw him get bottled up a little bit. So yeah, I can see why he's trending up, but again, it's another Cleveland running back. So are you picking up Jerome Ford and dropping a Cleveland running back? Maybe if you have Dearness Johnson, but that would be the only reason.
I'd much rather have Dearness Johnson.
Would you?
Yeah.
I picked him up.
He was fantastic last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
When he was filling in for both injured Chubb and Hunt.
Mm-hmm. I had him last year. I had him on my team last year.
You're the one who dropped him and then picked him back up.
Well, no, because then Raul had him. Raul dropped him this year.
Okay.
So I must have dropped him last year after I maybe had finally decided, whatever, Kareem Hunt's getting the work. You know, like I said, if Chubb was hurt, maybe it was Kareem getting it over Dearness. I don't know why. All I know is I had him because I looked, because he still had the same name. I made a nickname for him, the importance of being Dearness.
Oh, shit.
And when I got him back, I'm like, oh shit, that's the nickname I made for him, so I must have had him last year and dropped him. Uh-huh. So when it comes back to your team, that's what I was saying. If you drop a player that you've nicknamed and then you pick him back up later, a year later apparently, you'll have the same nickname still.
Fuck yeah, let's hear it for Sleeper app.
So dope. That's so dope.
I'm glad we switched to this app.
But yeah, you'd have Dearness over Jerome Ford because, again, it's a preseason game. Yeah, he got some good breakoffs. He got some good runs, but it's a preseason game. I don't know what to take away from preseason games, and we'll talk about that when we get to that little, because I want to talk to you about that. But yeah, so those are the top five that kind of count.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And this time next week, those top five will probably be different. All right, so those were our trending ups. Do you have any trending downs at the moment?
Trending downs. Well, as far as what Sleeper has, a lot of it's people who are retiring. James White, which is he's still on Chris Alex's
again, team. Still on Chris Alex's roster.
What are you doing, man? Chris, talk to us.
We know you're better than this, but
I wish we were doing this live and he could call in, or I could interrupt him while he's working. Because what are you doing, man? Get rid of the guy. He's done. But then you got your Chris Carsons, your Rob Gronks. Your Antonio Browns, if you will.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Antonio Brown, did you see his quote? I did send you that quote. All right. Yeah. If none of you else have seen this quote, then I laughed so hard when I read this. So Antonio Brown asked what was his biggest regret. And this is his quote. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch games afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks.
How good does it make us feel that a man like that is jealous of us? Like, that just makes me feel good.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about it like that. That's so good. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this man.
Yeah, I mean that's Kanye West. I mean, that's almost verbatim. I think what Kanye West said about him, one of his greatest regrets in life is that he can't watch himself perform, which is just it's the craziest thing to say about yourself.
Yes, I mean, man, they're probably gonna make a song together.
I mean, they probably could. I'm sure. I don't know why they. Maybe they are.
I think
maybe they will.
Maybe they did. There was a small rap career. He was in some songs.
You're blowing my mind right now. Yeah, maybe he's going to. Maybe they're going to get together. Because
I think it's on the way.
That is like almost verbatim what Kanye West said.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be a coincidence.
Could be. They're besties.
The man's crazy.
Crazy besties.
Yeah, he says he will not play in 2022, and I think we're all the more better for it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay.
Absolutely.
But I think we wanted to talk about some players that are trending down that are actually owned by people in our league. And think about, they're trending down on Sleeper. Should they be trending down in your own personal team? The first one that we run into is Kyle Rudolph. And that's Johnny's got him.
Johnny went in to get him. He dove in deep. He tasted the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
The Kyle Rudolph flavored Kool-Aid.
And now trending down, it's interesting because he just got, traded to the Bucks. So you get traded to the Bucks. You just lost Rob Gronkowski. You get Cameron Brate coming from You get Kyle Rudolph coming from the Vikings. You have Cameron Brate. right? Do they still have the
Did he
Buccaneers? Still
come
have
from the
Cameron
Vikings?
Brate?
I thought he came from the Giants. He was on the Vikings, then to the Giants.
Oh, is that in between?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
But the Buccaneers, do they still have Cameron? Okay, so they have Cameron Brate. Is that the only reason why Rudolph is trending down? Because
I don't know. Well, because when he got traded to him, he was trending up.
right.
You know, I don't know why he's on the downtrend at the moment. Did he get hurt? Is there any news on him?
The news is he's looking to inherit most of Gronk's workload, which to me that sounds awesome.
Yeah, just how is that trending down?
Yeah.
No, his workload isn't retiring. So,
No.
so Kyle Rudolph's actually about to retire.
His workload is like he's packing up Gronk's shit to get out of
Yeah, it's just-
the locker room. Yeah, I don't understand how you get put on a team that just lost Gronkowski. They're telling us he's going to take all of, most of his workload, and he's on the downtrend. So if you're Johnny, obviously you're not getting rid of him. You went in on him.
Right. He went out on him. I think he does have potential. He's definitely past his prime, but he's got sure hands. As sure as hands as his predecessor. Probably not.
Right. He's not as big.
He's not Gronk.
No.
He's not going to be on the same page as Gronk was with Tom Brady. I mean, he practically grew up with Tom Brady as his crazy uncle.
Man,
right?
what a duo. What a disgustingly good duo.
I know. I was watching videos the other night of him, and I'm just like, damn, that was fun.
Yeah. Gronk just bullying his way into an end zone is about one of the greatest things you'll ever watch. Just a good player. Next on training down is my guy, Tony Jones.
Tough one.
Tough.
Trending down. That was one of our trades last season.
Yeah, it was. It's probably the worst trade I've ever done. And there was a miscommunication, I think, on my end. I wasn't really sure who I was giving away for him, or I did, and then I realized, hey, I think it'll be okay anyways.
Yeah, you proposed the trade. I'm like, okay.
Was it A.J. Dillon?
It was.
That's a fucking bummer.
It was. We traded Tony Jones for A.J. Dillon. You wanted the handcuff.
I did.
And I get that.
Yeah, and
but I've read good news about Tony Jones recently, though.
Yeah.
So,
was it that he has a very old couple of running backs in front of him? Because he has a very old couple of running backs in front of him. Mark Ingram has been in forever.
Oh, he's back there. That was a great 1-2 punch a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Was that 5 years ago? They were the
Ingram
1A,
and,
Kamara.
Yeah.
The 1A, 1Bs that could be ran together. I think whoever won that year had both those guys as their starting running backs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that was the year that person won.
That would
Whomever
be a way to
it was.
do it.
Yeah.
That'd be a way to do it. Now this is Kamara's 6th year in, and then this is Ingram's 12th year, I believe, is what that said. So
12-year running
12
back?
years for Mark Ingram.
Jeez.
That's something. So he might. This is it's a keeper league. This is a
right. This isn't a redraft.
Dynasty.
This isn't your mom's dynasty.
Yeah, Tony Jones downtrending now. You've got Dwayne Washington there. He just re-signed. Again, he's this is 7th year in the league. It might uptrend at some point. Am I dropping him? No, because
Don't do it.
I can't. I can't do it just for morals. I gave away A.J. Dillon for Tony Jones.
It's all right. I gave away A.J. Dillon, too.
Dude, I will keep this guy until he shatters his legs. God forbid. I won't get rid of him, so no.
I think, I've read good things about his camp. He's trending in camp. Is he buried in the depth chart? Absolutely. He's a young guy. He's only 2 years in. This will be his 3rd year.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you could still even put him on your taxi squad at this point.
Yeah, well, because he's not going on the waiver wire, so. Next, we've got trending down Myles Gaskin. Beatles got him. He's in Miami. Yep. I assume he's trending down because of the Chase Edmonds situation.
Buried.
I assume
way more than Chase
he's
Edmonds.
trending down because of the Raheem Mostert situation.
Sony
I assume he's
Michel.
trending down because Sony Michel situation.
Yeah, he is buried.
He had a tough go this offseason, getting Chase Edmonds and Sony Michel on there.
Yeah, new offense, new weapons. Miami's looking pretty crazy this year.
Fourth year in, he's a fourth-year guy. What do? Do you drop him or you save him at this point? If you're in, and I guess we should go ahead and take a look at Beatles' team because that really kind of...
Beatles got a nice young team overall.
Yeah, he does not... yeah. The opposite of like a Chris Alex team, except not this year. Chris Alex is cutting fat, and he's...
everybody on Chris Alex's team is retiring. Yeah. So that's what's happening.
It's pretty much out of necessity.
Although, that might be happening, but Chris Alex does have a really good team.
Yeah.
He makes playoffs every year.
Oh, yeah. Scary guy to go against. I don't like going against him.
No.
I do not enjoy the matchups we have together.
He has great running back situation. Yeah, but anyways, Beetle, Miles Gaskin. Where's he at on Beatles?
He's got Jonathan Taylor, which is at this point all you really need right now.
Bro, that's 2 running backs put together.
Yes, exactly. Working at a Cooper Cup situation, he makes up for 2 wide receivers. Jonathan Taylor is his number 1 and will be until a bye week, and then he will be back as number 1. Behind that, he's got J.K. Dobbins. Again, he's a Baltimore back, which...
Nice and young, Baltimore back.
Baltimore's, it's always...
Why are all the running backs injury prone? I don't get it. What are they doing over there?
It's a dice roll, too.
Who's their running backs coach? Get them out of there.
Yeah. The good thing is, besides J.K. Dobbins, you've got Gus Edwards and Mike Davis. So, young guys, I don't know.
So in the future, Beetle might be looking for a running back trade for people like out there who's looking for trades.
Yeah. So
I have a trade out there, but not with Beetle. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to go into that today.
Yeah, he's got. I know I'd hold on to Myles Gaskin. I think
hold. Yes, with his running back group, I would definitely hold Myles Gaskin. And then if he gets traded, try to sell high.
Yeah,
sell the hype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he has been a starting running back.
Yeah.
Granted, you don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
He's got a few years in. I think he's going to make the team. 53-man rosters aren't set yet. I'm not too versed in 53-man rosters. Is 5 running backs? Is that too deep?
I have no idea. Could not tell you.
Yeah, maybe that's something for next podcast.
No idea how that works out. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, this is the first time I've seen their practice helmets. Those big, patty, puffy.
I love them. I watched Hard Knocks the other day. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I enjoyed seeing that. It just shows me how little I know about what happens pre-season 1. Because I gotta be honest, I don't really pay attention to the preseason that often. I haven't in the past. This is like the first year I've paid attention and actually paid attention to some practice videos. And
that's fun. This is my first time watching Hard Knocks, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Now, does that
Go Lions. That was fun. I think they usually do just one team, but I'm not sure. Okay. I'll have to go back and watch, which is exciting for me. I do have one trending down that I do want to talk about.
Please.
That I'm real sad about.
Uh-oh.
N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry.
Dude, I started him right when he got traded to the Bears.
Yeah.
He's on my watch list.
Yeah.
He's injured, surgery,
tightrope
out for a
surgery.
while.
Oh, tightrope surgery.
Yeah. It's sad to see because, bro, I was watching videos of him in college. He was fantastic. He was a first-round draft pick.
Is that right?
Yes. First-round draft pick to Bill Belichick. And, well, he's known to not produce wide receivers.
Sure.
So he failed there.
Yeah.
They've only had one good wide receiver. That's Randy Moss, right?
We're not counting Danny Amendola?
Oh, well, yes.
He retired this year?
He did. Is that another retiree? Yes.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm so sad that that's such a big beat for Chicago Bears. And they're going through the ringer right now.
So you're down to Darnell Mooney.
And Cole Kmet.
And
our guys.
And a tight end, Cole Kmet. You have Cole Kmet.
I do indeed.
Hey, very cool.
I have to have some reason to watch the Bears.
And I've got Fields. Maybe this year I will actually do a quarterback wide receiver combo with Fields and Mooney, but we'll see.
I've
got Joe Burrow and I've got...
I think Mooney's a great flex play.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's flexing. Or is he actually in? I'm not sure what I've got going on. He is. Yeah, he's flexing.
Yeah.
He's flexing.
Great flex.
Him and Chase Edmonds are flexing for me. Yeah, that's sad. I saw that too, and that's just a bummer. Chicago, just one more little beat. Just one little beat before the season starts.
Also, he was the number 2 rated blocking wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Behind Byron Pringle, who Chicago also has, who's also injured. And I'm like, fuck yeah. This is going to be David Montgomery's comeback year. They got these wide receivers that are going to block the hell out of everybody, and he's running forever. But, sadly, that doesn't seem to be the way that's going.
2 months is what I read for Harry. Out 2 months.
Okay, that's not too bad.
8 weeks, I think. Yeah.
But the scary thing is that teams aren't at the roster limit yet. They're over roster.
So is that a new scary for you?
That could be.
Is it terrifying or is it scary? Is it
no, it's just scary.
Yeah.
Because, he's on my watch list.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw Chris Alex pick up, was it Amon-Ra? No, not Amon-Ra.
St. Brown? Amon-Ra St. Cloud?
Wait, isn't that... He's on... Never mind.
Yeah, there's a couple of St.
There's a different... Yes. So I think they're brothers or something.
Is that right? I was gonna try to look up, see if that's what that was.
So... That was a great pickup just in time. Like, after... it was literally the day before everybody got injured. I'm like, Chris Alex, what are you watching? Like, how are you getting this news? That was a great pickup. But I feel, honestly, on my team, I'm tight. I don't know who to drop.
Yeah.
I've spent so much time this past year trying to build my bench. But anyways, on to the next segment. Super Bowl picks.
Yay! Yay!
How about you go first?
Me to go first?
Yeah, I would like that.
Oh, no.
You know?
Okay. Well, first pick, Rams. And I've got one word written here, and it says, duh. Because, obviously, I think they're going to be in a running for Super Bowl. Matt Stafford coming off his best year. Right? I believe his best year. Cooper Kupp coming off anybody's best year. Yeah, you lost somebody, but you're getting Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is where it needs to be. I think they're going to make another run. In the Super Bowl, at least. I'm not saying win, but in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's great. No, that makes sense. But to be honest, they were my 6th team. They didn't even make my top 5.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll get to yours then, because that's interesting. The next one, it may surprise you. I got the Saints. I have the Saints.
Interesting. Tell me about that. I want to hear more about that. I've always loved the Saints.
Jameis Winston, he's a good quarterback.
Absolutely.
Jameis Winston is a good quarterback. You got Michael Thomas back this year. You didn't have Michael Thomas at all last year?
No. The past 2 years.
Okay, is that okay? That's
Dude hasn't played for 2 years.
You got Michael Thomas back, and now if you have 17 weeks of Alvin Kamara, which I wasn't sure of, if this is right, like I said, this is kind of depending on what's going on with his situation. If he's not getting punished until next season, I think they've got a real shot at it. They've got a top 10 defense.
Absolutely.
And like I said, man, I like Winston. I like the guy as a quarterback.
Yes.
I think he makes something happen.
The only reason he has so many interceptions is because he throws all the time.
He does. He's a throwing quarterback.
Absolutely.
He's a throwing guy.
A mobile throwing quarterback. A little injury prone, but got good trainers. You can ice him down, dunk him in the tank.
Like I said, I think the Saints are going to I think they're going to have a really good go at it. And besides Michael Thomas, you also have Jarvis Landry. He's a solid receiver.
Yes.
He is a solid receiver. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been on the best teams. He was on the Browns, I believe. He was on the Dolphins, I believe.
Yeah, he was the Dolphins for a second.
Yeah, and then he went to the Browns for a second. Or
2 years, I think it was.
Or did he start at the Browns and then go to the Dolphins?
No, he was the Dolphins first.
He came in the
yes.
Dolphins. Okay.
I think he was drafted to the Dolphins and then went to the Browns, and now he's over at the Saints, which is great because also with Chris Olave, who I end up drafting. That was a tough one.
Marquez Callaway, Deontay Hardy. I got both of those guys. I basically have what Dan has to the Cowboys. Dan has a bunch of Cowboys. I've got a lot of Saints. I've got Kamara, I've got Callaway, I've got Hardy. and again, those two guys, I never know who to pick. Chris Olave, rookie. Did we see him do anything this last preseason?
Olave? Yeah, absolutely.
Olave.
He actually set the records at Ohio State as the third wide receiver over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played behind Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
And a sophomore who, all right, guys, top secret, who I'm going to try to draft next year.
Oh, no.
I can't remember his name, but he's better than both Olave and Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
He's fantastic. He's a stud.
Nice.
But next year is, man, I don't want to give away all my secrets.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep it to yourself.
But yeah, he's one. I'm not going to name names.
For sure.
But no, I like that.
Cool.
I think I've always liked the Saints.
Yeah.
I would move to New Orleans in a heartbeat if it wasn't for Hurricanes.
Drew Brees,
I love NOLA.
Yeah, Drew Brees should have had a Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have one. Is that right?
No, Drew Brees has won the Super Bowl.
Has he?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He had to get out of the Chargers to do it, but
Oh, yeah.
because he started at the Chargers,
Yeah.
and then moved to the Saints.
Okay.
But see, they lost their coach. That's tough. That's why I'm like, they're not in my top 5. I love the pick because they have a new coach, but they got all their weapons back.
Right. That was a big thing for me. You've got major weapons back.
Yeah.
And like I
Absolutely.
said, and defense. And a lot of my, some of my picks, I was looking at defenses because I think defenses obviously, win you games. And I try to make a clear effort to, on my picks, okay, for at least 2 teams, look at the defense and go from there. Not kind of make a pick based on defense as well as the weapons on the offense.
Absolutely.
Not just looking at, we got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, so of course we're a Super Bowl pick. For other reasons I try to look at. So my next one, obviously, it's probably not an unpopular opinion, the Bills.
Oh yeah.
Bills. There's a lot of reasons. Defense, like I was just talking about, a phenomenal defense right now. Number 1 defense, I believe, is in our league. I think is the number 1.
Is
defense.
the Bills? Makes sense.
I believe so. You have Josh Allen. Last year he had 763 rushing yards on 122 attempts.
Josh Allen, 2 years running.
It's disgusting.
Number 1 running back, or sorry, quarterback. Why did I say running back?
Well, because he's high on the running back list.
Right.
That's why you say running back.
Because he's a running quarterback.
Yeah, I think I can pull a stat here, but because when you look at running back yards and stats, he's on that list higher than a lot of Lamar Jackson is going to be on there, Kyler Murray is going to be on there,
right?
Josh Allen's going to be on there higher.
Yeah, he's good. 2 years running, the number 1 QB in fantasy.
Stephon Diggs just signed a 4-year contract, I believe.
Good stuff.
That is good stuff for that team.
Good stuff.
And you got Singletary. Last few games of the season last year, Singletary was on a goddamn tear.
On a tear. Playoff machine.
Just stupid. Yeah, on a tear.
The Bills, I'll say this now because it's not my turn yet, but the Bills are my number 1.
Oh, okay.
I think cold weather football, getting Jamison Crowder for your slot man after, who was it, Corey Davis? After he left? Oh,
I'm not sure.
Not Corey Davis.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson is higher on the rushing list than Josh Allen.
Cole Beasley. Sorry.
Cole Beasley, yeah.
Cole Beasley left. They filled it with Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
That's a
good
fantastic
replacement.
move. They picked up James Cook.
That's what I got too. A nice pass catcher on the team now.
Yes. If Singletary can show up and James Cook can, be the 1B, they have a great slot. They got, was it Gabriel Davis, who also at the end of last year balled out.
Oh, okay.
Like, he's a huge favorite in the fantasy circles right now.
Yeah.
Because of essentially one game where he had 4 touchdowns. But
I mean, sometimes it's all it takes.
So he's got super hype. Dawson Knox, I think he'll plateau a little bit. I don't think he's gonna have the year that he had last year.
Sure.
But great pass catching tight end and a mobile. I think they have it all, man. The number 1 defense, fantasy wise, so but
sure. But for a reason though, is because they make moves, like they make plays that get points, which are good plays, stripping the ball, intercepting the ball, pick six, like there's a reason they're number 1 in our league because they're a really good fucking defense.
Yeah.
And if not this year, they have to win it in the next 5, right?
they're all in on winning.
to win.
The Bills got to go for it. They have to, and they have the team to do it.
Yeah,
they literally have the team. Do they? Who did they lose to last year? Cincinnati.
Maybe because that's my next Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, get it, dude.
It sure is. Yeah, you know, they've got a stupid receiving core. The receiving core is just disgusting. I mean, the receiving core it could just be Jamar Chase,
T. Higgins. Who else? Who's the other? Who's the third?
T. Higgins. You got Tyler Boyd.
Okay, yeah, that's
right.
Boyd.
You got Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
And then you've got your Joe Mixon, your Sammy Perrine, Samaje Perrine. I don't know, but two really good quarterbacks. I mean, Joe Mixon, 6th year in, he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's a great running back.
Yeah, really good.
He's good. He's top 10 for sure.
Yeah. But I'm just really excited about the receivers. They have a lot of really interesting and fun receivers, I think. And then you've got Joe Burrow. He's a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He is. I mean, he's my guy, so I'm a little biased.
Oh, he's your guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, there it is. The truth comes out.
So yeah, I'm a little biased, but yeah, 8.9 yards per attempt. It's highest in all the quarterbacks that have over 400 attempts. Right? It's
really?
It's the highest yards per attempt.
That's a good stat to know.
He has the highest completion of 70% of over 400 attempts or more. 70% completion. And he has the 6-month passing yards last year. So he does a lot of throwing, and he does it well.
Yeah. What? This is just for all intents and purposes. What would it take to trade him?
What would it take to trade Joe Burrow?
Oh, yeah. Good question, huh?
Oh boy. I don't know.
And it's okay to say not tradable at the moment.
At the moment, he might not be. Honestly, at the moment, he might not be.
Yeah.
This is his 3rd year in.
Is this 3rd year?
It's only his 3rd year in.
I thought this was his 2nd year.
He's got 2 years under his belt.
Okay.
This will be number 3. So.
Did he play a year behind? Was it Alex Smith?
Alex Smith, not Andy Dalton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I thought he came in swinging.
Yeah, you're right. They drafted him, and he's like, "This is our man."
So I think him and Herbert came in at the same time.
Oh man, I love Justin Herbert.
Who I still have. Yeah.
You have Burrow and Herbert?
I do.
Get
I have
the fuck
Burrow
out
and
of here,
Herbert.
bro. There's the door right there, man.
So that's the thing. But that being said, I also have Fields. I have 3 young quarterbacks.
Yeah. Great dynasty stuff right there.
Right. So it's not unheard of that I might think about trading Joe Burrow. Not the craziest thing in the world. Because between Herbert and Burrow.
Yeah, you're looking at multiple draft picks and solidifying a different position that you might be weak at. You know?
Because I've got. Yeah.
Right.
I got my issues.
Gotcha.
But they're my issues.
So
Bengals. And then my last pick is I got the Arizona Cardinals. I just like them. That's kind of a gut pick for me. I like Kyler Murray. They got
the acquisition of Marquise Brown.
That's
going to be good.
Yes.
They're out Hopkins for 6 games, though.
Yeah.
Which is going to be great for Brown owners, which I believe is Beetle.
Is that right?
Yeah. I thought about making a play for him, but Beetle's never on the app, so any trade I'd put out there would go unnoticed.
Goes unanswered, yeah. That's the guy you got to text direct, like, hey, man, there's a trade. Go look at it.
Look at your trade. Do you play fantasy football?
Do you even play? I just like the Cardinals.
Yeah, man,
they got Rondale Moore.
Picks.
Yeah, Rondale Moore is a young guy. You do have James Conner there. You got Eno Benjamin behind him. That was just a gut. The only problem for is they have a tough division.
Oh yeah, there are a few of those.
So that's the only reason they're in a division with the Rams, which again I think they're gonna have a really good push this year. So, but yeah, that last one just a gut pick. I like them, so I will want them to win because I can't, in all good conscience, put the Bears on that list, even though I obviously want them to win the Super Bowl. But what are you gonna do?
Wait 10 more years.
Oh. Always rebuilding.
The constant rebuild. They got to move the stadium. There's more stuff involved that's going on.
This whole Arlington nonsense.
All right. So my picks.
Please.
Number 1, the Bills.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are in the position to take it this year.
Yeah.
Or, just make it to the Super Bowl for the next 5 years and lose every single time again, which could happen, which I think they've done before. Next one. I'm all in for Indy, man.
Indianapolis.
Yes.
On the back of Jonathan Taylor?
So, okay. They got if they got a pretty decent wide receiving core if they can stay healthy. They have one of the best 1-2 backs behind the best offensive line in football.
Okay.
And they have Matt Ryan.
They do have Matt Ryan.
A seasoned veteran who's been, I don't think he has a ring, but has been to Super Bowls.
That's the one I was thinking of. When I said Drew Brees deserved a win, I was thinking Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Because I was thinking of the Falcons-Patriots game.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Such a heartbreak.
That was what I was thinking of, and that's what, yeah.
That's one of those amazing games where you're like, yep, Tom Brady's doing Tom Brady shit. Bill Belichick's doing Bill Belichick shit. Because they were losing that game.
The Falcons stopped doing shit.
They were losing.
Yes.
By like 3 touchdowns. It was. I felt so bad, but I think with this team,
yeah.
Yes, they. I will go into wide receivers later for that team because that's who I'm looking forward to in one of our other segments.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later. My next one, Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta throw it in there for sure.
Kansas City's in there. They're in my top 5. There was a lot of worry getting rid of Tyreek Hill.
Sure.
But I think they upgraded at wide receiver.
With?
Vasquez Scantling.
Oh.
Yeah. Vasquez Scantling.
Yeah. Coming from Green Bay.
He's actually faster than Tyreek Hill. If you go and look at their 40s.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Not much faster, but still.
That is a hell of a statement because you just think Tyreek Hill is one of the fastest guys on the field.
Yeah. But they also pick up Juju.
Oh, okay.
Like, they upgraded. Yeah, they traded and upgraded. They picked up Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned in our league chat that I'm like, I think Ronald Jones is going to emerge as their number 1. That probably will be false. I mean, because they're going to like CEH. He's They're young. They drafted him really early.
Right.
He was one of the top 5 running backs taken off the board that year. So they're going to continue to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
But, he might be their starting running back, but I think I think he's still just the change of pace running back.
Okay.
I think they get in goal line situations. Ronald Jones is going to be the man. He's going to be the Mike Davis of Carolina.
Just goal line.
The Justin Forsett of Baltimore.
Yeah, just punching it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The Marshawn Lynch, if you will.
Exactly. Just don't pass it at the goal line.
As long as you hand him the goddamn ball.
Just don't get him drunk and give him keys to your car. And I have to put the Buccaneers in there.
Okay.
You just have to. It's Tom Brady with all the weapons, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost Gronk, but womp womp. You still got Chris Godwin.
Mike Evans is an incredible athlete.
Still got Mike Evans.
Is an incredible
They had Russell Gage, but he got injured. I don't know the whole situation on that. Mm-hmm. I love Russell Gage when he was at Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady loves his slot wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. Slotty.
If Russell Gage gets healthy, or if he's not out for the year, I think that's a fantastic situation. And then from that tough-ass division, I'm actually picking the 49ers out of that as in my top 5.
Great defense.
Great defense, offensive weapon. They just signed Debo.
Yeah.
Their running back situation got figured out last year, so they can go in fresh this year, knowing what they want.
Yep.
With having that year in, and also Brandon Ayuk.
I was hoping you were bringing up. I like Brandon Ayuk a lot.
Yeah, it's his 3rd year.
Yep.
He was in the doghouse. I mean, but if anybody can teach well, it's Shanahan. I think I think they're going to have a great season this year.
You know, when I was trying to base the pick off of defenses, that was when I was kind of on the fence about was of the 49ers because, yeah, I agree with that pick absolutely. Trey Lance, he had some good he only played, a couple
right.
A drive or two in preseason, but
if they hold on to Garoppolo, they got a great backup QB.
Yeah.
Because Trey Lance is the modern quarterback, he's mobile. All the new quarterbacks these days have to be mobile and be able to throw outside of the pocket.
Yeah. And you mentioned Kittle, I'm assuming.
Well, I don't have to mention Kittle. Kittle's there. Kittle's great.
Yeah, I like that.
But that's dangerous. I was watching a video of Indy's preseason and their quarterbacks coach, and he said it great. He was quoting that mobile quarterbacks are good, right?
Yeah.
But it is super dangerous. No, it was Tennessee. I'm sorry, not Indy, because they were talking about Malik. Because I picked up Malik, so I've been trying to see how his development's going.
Yeah. Keep tabs. Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's like, outside the pocket, this dude's great, but he kind of sucks inside the pocket, and that's where you want to stay, because inside the pocket is the safest place for a quarterback.
It's your safe zone. Yeah.
Yes, because your tackle zone is high.
Sure.
They're not hitting. You're less likely to get injured in your ankles or your knees.
Right.
They gotta go up. So, but when you leave the pocket, you're free game.
Sure.
Like you're gonna get hurt.
Sure.
So
that makes sense.
But that's fun.
Yeah, he's an exciting guy. Raul will be happy to hear all that.
Oh, I'm sure. But no, I mean, he's backing a good team.
Yeah.
So I can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
We just don't want him to win this year. That's sorry, Raul, but not sorry.
But I mean, but it's true. So those are our Super Bowl picks, huh?
Yeah, those might change, but I think Indy's got it. No, back to Indy. I'm all in for Indy this year. Sorry.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one above all your picks,
Bills. But
okay.
The Bills got it. Bills got it in the bag. I'll put money on that. Pin it right now.
Pin the pod.
But Indy has the easiest conference to win.
Sure.
The easiest conference. They're making the playoffs. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's after that what they do.
Yeah.
All right. That. So, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite person on your fantasy team coming into this year? Or who do you have high hopes for situationally, or you know what I mean?
I do. Well, let me ask you this. Who are you most excited for?
Michael Pittman Jr. The hype bug. I got bit by the hype bug.
Okay.
And
let's hear it.
I pushed hard to get him. I'm like the reason I had to take a deep look at my team, right?
Okay.
And the reason I'm not winning is I don't have a top 5 wide receiving core. So I spent this offseason trying to build that.
Okay. I gave you Allen Robinson, but all right.
Yeah.
We have to wait and see. We got to see.
Yeah, we will. I mean, he's burned you for years. That's why you got rid of him. You're tired of him.
He's a good receiver when he's healthy.
Yes.
And, yeah. He's
about to go into a great situation where he's not going to get double teamed all the time. He's not the number one.
Right.
He can play as a number one.
Right.
The best quarterback he's ever played with.
Right.
If his elbow shows up.
Yeah.
That's where that should be in my scares.
They just got to get Roethlisberger's doctor over there. Just pay to get whatever Roethlisberger was getting shot into him, and he's good.
Send him to Pittsburgh.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a mess over there.
So is that
yes, Michael Pittman? I went all in. I traded 2 number one round picks for him. Well, I swapped a number one.
Okay.
So I traded Johnny for Michael Pittman, my number one overall, because he needed a running back, right?
This year. That's right. Okay.
So he needed a running back. He didn't really care for any of mine that I wanted to get rid of. Mm-hmm. And I told him, straight up, I'm the number one pick overall. I'm picking Breece Hall. He's the undisputed number one pick this year.
Right.
I have to. I don't need Breece Hall. I didn't need him.
It's one of those things.
But I have to pick him up.
Yeah.
So we swapped one for 7, so I got the 7th pick, and I'm like, okay, that's Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, things. So I'm still getting a potential top tier receiver, right, for Michael Pittman, who I don't know how Johnny did it, but he's loaded on wide receivers.
Okay,
he is absolutely loaded. But he was on his taxi squad, and I'm like, dude. Doubled his numbers from his freshman year and his sophomore year. He doubled his numbers.
And this is 3rd year in now.
So this will be his 3rd year. So he doubled his numbers at Indy to over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. And I'm like, the sky's the limit for this kid. He's the undisputed number 1 over there. Mm-hmm. As long as the rest of the wide receiver core can stay healthy, I'm excited. Also Nyheim Hines. Like I said, I'm all in for Indy this year. I don't know why, but looking at their division, dude, I'm set.
And I was going to ask if that kind of your hype on him, did that push Indy just over that line to get from? Okay.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sold on this guy, so might as well just be all in for Indy.
And then you look at Jonathan Taylor, and that's just okay. If you're already hyped on Pittman, then looking at the running backs that team
Taylor,
has,
Nyheim Hines, I think he's going to have 70 catches this year.
Yeah.
He's going to be an awesome flex play. I think he also does returns.
Yeah.
Punt returns. Like I said, I love my dual threats.
I like it.
Yeah.
All
right. So what about you, man?
I don't want to be cliche, but, and I already talked about it before, I know I have Justin Herbert on my team, but, man, I'm excited for Joe Burrow. I'm excited for Joe. It's such a weak
You did the switch on me, man. I thought we were going to talk about Herbert, and I was about to salute you.
No. Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely. I like Herbert more than Burrow this year.
Obviously, Joe Burrow is my super flex, right? Herbert is my quarterback.
Right.
He is my quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Burrow because, again, I love his receivers. I love him as a quarterback. And I am excited for Cincinnati this year. I'm going to enjoy watching Cincinnati games. It's his 3rd year in, and I'm excited to see him do some work. I just want to make sure he's all healthy. He had his appendectomy. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, it's undisclosed on when he's coming back, but that's fine. I had an appendectomy. You get better.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. It's this. Well, my appendix almost burst, and it was the most painful thing I've ever been through. Yeah, that wasn't a note. Really nice. No, not nice.
Open surgery? That's awesome, dude.
Good for you. Fantastic.
I'm glad for you.
Yeah. Microscopic appendectomy.
Ugh, yuck. All right.
Yeah, no, that's...
so, speaking as one who's had it,
When did he have it? Being in a kitchen, I didn't go back right away.
Sure.
I had to take some time.
Sure.
Light load it. But, when are we going to evolve enough to the point where we don't have an appendix anymore because we don't fucking use it?
We don't. Late July is when he has his appendectemy, so... you got a month and some change to recover.
He's good for season. He doesn't need to play the preseason.
He's running sprints. They said he was running sprints before yesterday's preseason game. So he's active. He's out there. He's mobile. I'm ready to see him play this year.
He played a whole season with the Bengals. The team hasn't changed.
Right.
I think it's okay that he takes a preseason off.
Yeah.
I think all starting quarterbacks actually should. I understand getting back into it and wanting people to get some hits.
Yeah.
Get used to re-feeling what it feels like to play professional football. But that's such they spend so much money on some of these players.
Yeah. Why risk it?
Maybe there's this secret insurance plan we don't know about. Like if someone gets hurt, they get paid a lot of money back.
Depending on who it is that gets hurt. Yeah.
Right.
If a rookie gets hurt, you get so much more money back. Yeah. So are you a fan of the whole play 10 snaps and then be done with the game? Or do you even think...
No, I think that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Play a full quarter.
Oh, okay. So you're saying
if you're going to play, you got to play.
Because I've seen that happen. They're in for 10 snaps, they're in for a drive.
Yeah, you're doing that at practice.
Right.
Yeah. There's some teams where I'm horrified for the offense to play against their defense.
Right.
Jesus.
Please,
you're
this is not...
New Orleans. Oh my God, I bet Jameis Winston has a hell of a time playing against their defense,
Yeah, these games don't count. Please don't do that. That's what I'm excited for.
Very cool. I like it. I'm definitely more into Justin Herbert than Joe Burrow.
As you should be.
They also have a great wide receiving crew over there. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
They do.
Josh Palmer.
Mm-hmm. It is nice.
But that is the toughest division.
Yeah. Who's in that division with the Chargers? Because off the top of the head, I couldn't tell you.
Was it Vegas?
Sounds right. That's who they open against, so that would make sense.
Yeah, let's look that up real quick.
You can look that up quick. And speaking of preseason, I don't know what you're wanting to get into next year.
Preseason league stuff. Let's techno babble.
Let me ask you something. When you watch preseason games, what are you watching for then? Obviously not quarterback performance, because who gives a shit? It's a preseason game. Your quarterback maybe shouldn't even be out there to begin with, depending on who you have as quarterback and who you're playing. So what do you look for?
Well, it's Dynasty. I'm looking at the guys that we're not going to be able to see during the regular season. This is their chance to sign. People are trying to make the team, right?
Okay.
I'm looking at injuries, because they're going to happen in the preseason. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I love being able to see. I know we got some going on up here. Get it. Go Indy. That's the Bills, though.
Watching the Bills.
Bills Indy at the moment.
So you're looking at those players that are trying to make that, or this is
Players
the last
that are trying to make the team.
that squad.
You never know. Like I'm constantly on the starring players.
Yeah.
I have my football news, and then you go into your starred players, and you can go into those news too.
Really?
Yes. So in the app, you have your watch list, right? Your watch list has its own news category.
See, I thought I was just getting news just for any of my players.
You are. When you go to news, it's just the players on your roster.
Gotcha.
If you go to watch list, there's also a news tab in the watch list, and it'll bring up all the news for your watched players.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. That is very good to know.
So, and that's what I'm watching preseason for. I'm like, oh man, yeah, these guys. Let's get it. These new guys. I want to see the rookies that I picked up. I want to see them play. I watched the first part of the Tennessee game because I got Malik.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna watch New Orleans because I want to see if they play Olave. Like, I want to see my new guys.
Yeah.
See their rapport. I mean, it may not be with the right quarterback.
Sure.
But I want to see how they're doing. That's my visual update rather than just reading about it all the time.
I gotcha.
What about yourself?
I think I try to look at defenses, even though I know those guys aren't going, as hard, or they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be going 100% because it's preseason. There's no reason to get injured in preseason. It's just not. But I was looking at defenses as far as who's getting around the offensive line. Who's making their way outside to the quarterback. Because a quarterback sack. Because I feel like as much as it is power, it's about using your body to get around your offensive line to get to that quarterback. So I feel like you can still kind of replicate that in preseason without sacrificing your body. So I look at a lot of that. I look at where the defense is if they're getting in front of the ball, if they're reading where the ball is going. Because again, you don't have to be at 100% to read a quarterback. And I'm looking for defensive teams that are doing that. Even like you said, if it's not the quarterback that they'll be facing in the regular season.
Right.
There's some good things I liked watching, highlights of these last preseason games, and most of what I thought was good was the defensive plays. All the sacks that were happening, all the tackle for losses that were happening, some forced interceptions, some forced fumbles. That's kind of stuff I'm looking for. Where the defenders' hands are getting. But that's about it. I don't put a lot of faith, a lot of value in, like we said, watching a starting quarterback come out for 10 plays or a drive and then going back because it tells me nothing.
No, it
really doesn't.
It doesn't. It just, yeah.
And running backs, I kind of feel like the same way. Are they getting through and making a big play because the defense isn't going 100%? Or are they just good? I don't know. Is our offensive line not going 100%? I mean, it's just all those things that I don't know how much power they're using in their legs. I don't know how much they're letting off the gas because it's preseason. Right. But I feel like I can read the defense a little bit better and see if they're intelligent enough in the preseason games to have that same sort of intelligence, in the regular season games,
Gotcha.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. I do have to wonder though, if you're watching defenses, does that mean like you're thinking of trading for defenses if you see someone like popping off? Because we're not in a redraft format to where we can draft defenses anymore.
I tell you, defenses is really where I get stuck. Because I feel like I'm stuck with what I got because there's only 32 defenses in the league.
Right.
And if everyone's
picking up two,
you should have at least two.
Yeah.
And you really don't want a bottom 10 defense for any reason. So you got a very small margin.
Right. I know I ended last year, I think, with 4 defenses, but that's because I was trying to screw over playoff players.
Oh, nice. Doing that whole thing. I don't need this.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm always playing fantasy football. I don't need this. But guess what? I'm picking up this defense who's, also I was doing anything I could because last season was so amazing that it was, a 5-6 way tie going in for playoff spot?
That was so fun.
That's so awesome. We've never had that. That's super competitive. That's fun for everybody. So I was like I'm gonna pick up this defense because potential to score more points. Blah 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 blah.
Because we were so
and
close.
I don't want you to have it. Right.
I forgot about that. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know. When I trade for a defense, it had to be a good goddamn defense.
Yeah.
It had to be like a Bills defense, or that may be it. I don't know. I'd have to go back and really dig in and see what strength of schedule is. Who are they playing this year?
Right.
Because
I haven't decided to throw in. It's tough. It's tough to trade defense because it'd have to be a defense for defense. I'd have to be able to get a defense back because there's not much on the waiver,
Yes.
So as maybe like trade bait. So let's say I want someone's wide receiver, right? I'm gonna throw in something that they might need and a top tier defense.
Okay.
That might push them over the edge.
Sure.
Right? That might make that. But doing that could really screw me because there's not a lot on the waiver wire when it comes to defenses.
There's not.
There's 10 on the waiver wire, maybe?
I'm going to put it up here real quick.
I know your Bears D took a hit this year.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. So, that's my issue. I have New England. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A very, very okay defense all the time.
Right. Bill Belichick knows how to... His defensive coordinator knows what Bill Belichick expects.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick expects.
You got it.
And he seems to do it a lot. You don't get to as many Super Bowls as the Patriots without getting your defense in order. And they've got their defense in order. Schedule-wise, it's not the best schedule. But I am going to have those weeks where I have to play a different defense, and I'm stuck with Chicago, which is a goddamn bummer. Who do you have?
I am running with the Saints.
Okay.
And Arizona Cardinals. So I like to pick up defenses that are playoff contenders.
Okay. And I had both of those in my Super Bowl picks. So, yeah, defense-wise, I agree with that. Looking at our league right now, number 10 defense is the Los Angeles Chargers, and they are still available.
Really? I'm surprised by that.
I think I am too, as well as the Cleveland Browns defense is also available.
Do I want to go out and grab them right now? Probably not.
When are we putting this podcast out?
Yeah. As soon as we edit it. No, but I mean that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We're having these conversations. They've been on that waiver wire.
Sure.
Someone could have picked them up.
Yeah.
We're just throwing some hype out there,
But you do have so those are the top available defenses as far as what this app says, our league settings, however you want to look at it. Cleveland Browns or Chargers, the Browns, and then Eagles, Bengals is still available, Panthers, and then Commanders. Any of those strike your interest besides the Chargers?
Interesting. That's a great question. It depends on what I'm playing. Do I drop a defense to pick up an extra quarterback and then play the waiver for bye weeks?
Sure.
It's definitely situational.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised the Chargers are still out there. Cleveland for sure. But what's fun looking at this app now is there's only a 3-point projected difference or 5-point projected difference between the top 7 defenses.
Oh, okay.
On there. So
you're splitting hairs basically as far as
the top 3 on there are all projected the same amount of points.
The difference will be a crazy pick, just a stupid amount of fumbles in one game where just one team kind of comes over the edge. But more or less it's going to be a dice roll for those. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Browns defense, I don't know. They had the highlights that I watched in their game against the Jaguars. They had a really great force intercept. It ended up being a forced pick 6, just grabbing it out of the hands of the receiver. A really good forced fumble, and they were all over the goddamn quarterback. They were just getting around the offensive line, which it looked impressive to me. Like I said, they were where the ball was.
Right.
And man, they just seemed to know what they were doing. So yeah.
If I went through those top 3 that are projected the same amount of points, I would choose the team that would have the most return yards.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because the defenses in our league get points for that.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're looking at that one return touchdown. That's going to win you that day.
So then, let me ask you, is there a situation where that would come into play? Like, is there a way to pick and choose your defense depending on what team they're playing to know there's going to be a lot of kickoff returns? You know what I'm saying? Would you want to play that defense against a high-scoring offense because they're going to be returning a lot of kickoffs because they're going to have the option?
No.
Because the other team is scoring a lot of points?
No. Because a lot of those kickers, I'm not necessarily saying kickoff returns, I'm more thinking like punt returns.
Right.
So you want a team that is going to have a lot of 3-and-outs.
Can't get the job done.
Punt returns. Because kick returns right now, they set up, at the 35? They're kicking them out of bounds. They're kicking field goals from kickoffs,
Yeah.
So, you're not returning that.
Okay.
So I'm not looking at necessarily kick returns anymore since that rule change.
Yeah.
But more of the punt returns.
So if you're playing 5D chess between your defenses, hey, the team I'm going against this week, they do a lot of 3-and-outs. Hey, I might have a lot of punt return yards.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're like, this is the defense I'm going to stream because there's a potential there for that. I mean, there's a potential there for more points than just projected.
Sure.
You're going boom or bust. Like, they're going to get points. Your defense is going to get points unless they're getting scored on.
Right.
So don't go against a high-scoring offense,
Yeah, so it could work for you.
If I'm playing Saints, but there's also that. If it's tough to think. Yeah, people play up. Let's say the Saints play the Rams.
Yeah.
Their defense is going to step up, right? They're going to be out there. They're going to be hyped. They might have a better game than if they play the Bears.
Division games are going to... Okay, I got you.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely it does. It absolutely does. It's a different feel when Green Bay comes into Soldier Field or Arlington or wherever the fuck they're going to start coming into.
Right.
Versus when they're playing at home. Their defense... those two games, both those defenses are going to play good.
Absolutely.
Home and away, they're going to play great away. Versus if they're playing some whatever.
Right.
Whoever. I got you. No, that makes sense.
You play up. You train for. You're a hard team. Yeah.
Unless you have the Chicago Bears defense, and then you don't play them if they're playing against Green Bay, even at home.
For some reason.
Even at home.
Yeah.
Especially at home.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know, man. Maybe this Arlington thing will be a good for us. Maybe we'll get rid of the fucking ghosts that are haunting Social Field right now. I don't know. Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's a tough one. I know. I tried to stream the Bears game today, and they were having a Green Bay memorial celebration or some shit. I'm like, what a slap in the face.
Dude,
here you go, Green Bay fan or Chicago fans.
They're
Here's
not
some
even playing Green Bay.
No.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
You want to watch Chicago Bears play whoever they're playing? No. Here's Green Bay, assholes.
Yep.
Give me a break. That's
good.
That's the worst. That's the absolute worst.
So, Anyways, yeah, that's how I would stream defenses.
Okay.
And, man, it's been great. I think we've had a first good broadcast.
Yeah,
And,
I like it.
See you all next week.
Yeah.